Imagine ChatGPT, but with your own AI assistant in a library where you create your own prompts, your own workflows, and you maximize your time to create the ultimate leverage that you can have given AI. That is what we're going to build today. We're going to use Bubble and we're going to be using GPT-4, and I'll show you how you can use this and grab this template also in the end if you stay that long to build your own AI agents and really step into the leverage that AI can give you with the tools that are available for us now. So if you haven't done that already, just subscribe to this channel and let me know what you think about this type of content and hit the notification bell. And without further ado, let's go. We live in the most amazing times right now. Turbulent, of course, but also the times with the most fast evolving technical evolution, right? And of course, I'm thinking about AI and all the AI stuff that's going on all the time at an accelerated pace. And unless you have been living under a rock, you know what I'm talking about, right? So to me, the age of AI for the individual person, for you and I, spells the age of leverage, the age of personal leverage. I believe there is a window of opportunity over the next few years to use AI tools and agents and everything that's coming up to introduce leverage to your daily life and work and everything you do, where you have an input in your time and effort and energy and talents, and you get an output, right? And I think this is great news, the best news. And I think this is one of the more favorable ways of viewing the AI tools as an individual. What do I mean by that? Well, since we all have a limited amount of time on this planet, everything we can do where we can increase the amount of output per inputs in time or energy units is a great trade-off, right? So if we could have infinite leverage on our time input, that would be like the best situation ever. If I can work 2 hours and get like the output of 2 years of the average sort of the global average or something, that is great, right? And the more I can skew that to my advantage, the better. I mean, it speaks for itself, but I think this is really the great force multiplier that AI has. If you can define your process of going from an input to an output, then you can systemize that with the use of AI to gain that leverage for specific tasks. So I believe that everyone right now should have their own AI assistant. And at the very least, that is a ChatGPT Plus subscription, or ChatGPT if you for some reason don't want to pay the $20 a month to get GPT-4. And this spells massive personal leverage. And I think also on the flip side of this, there's probably never been a bigger risk for the individual, again, of getting in a position where they have a comparative disadvantage. What do I mean by that? Well, since there's so much leverage to be gained, you can now foresee smaller teams and companies or even one-person teams doing huge things because the leverage is so great. So the distance between somebody who doesn't use AI tools and what they will be able to do, however talented and focused they are, to somebody who uses all the tools at their disposal and really think about what they're doing in terms of input-output processes and use AI to augment that distance is only getting bigger and bigger. And I think it's already huge. And I think most people probably still sleeping on this. So you need to really dig deep here and think about, what do I do where I can introduce leverage with AI, which is a huge, again, force multiplier. So I think it's a great time for everyone to think about their daily lives and start prompting their daily lives. So if you think about what a prompt is, it's just an instruction in language, right? English usually. So if you have a process in your work or daily life that could be boiled down to an SOP, a standard operating procedure, you can prompt that workflow. Or said in a different way, if you can explain and give instructions to a person on how you usually get to an output, then in theory it can be used with AI, and you can prompt the AI to do it for you. So usually what you're looking at when it comes to prompts is you're looking at detailed explanations, purpose, objective, goals. You want to add context. So if you use proprietary data in your daily workflows, you need to have that in the prompt structure as well, and so on. So you can go however deep you want here. But anyway, I think this framing of the space we're in time right now is really important. And this is also, to me, the most exciting part of AI tools. So to that end, I created a version of ChatGPT, if you'd like, which is essentially an upgraded UI on top of the GPT-4 API. I built it with Bubble. If you haven't seen that video series, you can see me build like a ChatGPT clone using Bubble, which is a no-code tool, meaning I didn't use code even to build it. So let's go into it and I'll show you. So this is my own AI assistant, which is very similar to ChatGPT, of course. It's built on GPT-4. And it's built on Bubble, so the no-code tool Bubble. And if you've seen my video where I built a ChatGPT clone, this is an extension of that, right? So I built this on top of that, so to speak. So what makes this great is that I can create my own prompt structure. So here, for example, you can see that it says default. So by default, I am just sending a system message. You are helpful, extremely intelligent, AI assistant, minimize prose. Minimize prose, meaning don't give me a lot of fluff, just give me the gist of the text, right? And I can write anything here, of course. But here's where it gets really interesting for me, and what I like about this is the control it gives me. So if I choose assistant, I can choose between a few pre-populated assistants that I've put here, but I can also add assistants. So just to show you, let me go with teacher. And here we can let's say, I want to learn about transformers. And here you'll see that we have a teacher style assistant that is specialized in teaching us subjects like a great teacher with a specific pedagogical structure and way it interacts with us, which is great for this specific workflow, right? So if we click here on the teacher, we will see the system prompt. And this is a relatively known sort of learn anything now prompt that's been circulating the internet. So I've completely just taken this off Googling. But here you can see from this moment, you are blah, blah, blah. You're the world's best and fastest teacher, a long system prompt, right? And of course, if you have a number of prompts like this, you can use them just in ChatGPT. It's just that it becomes really bothersome to copy and paste things all the time. And if you also wanted to add context, which might be dynamic, like a specific product, a specific company, whatever, again, it becomes a little bit cumbersome to do all this. So this is why I like this type of system where you can build a prompt library for any type of use case, big or small, to your own liking, and just use it whenever you want. Okay, great. So let's instead create a new one. Oh, let's also see the default. So the default one here is just, you are a helpful, extremely intelligent AI assistant, minimize prose. And I'm going to close this. So now I'm going to add an assistant. Let's do a new chat first. And then I'm going to choose assistant. I'm going to add an assistant. And here, what I want to do now is I want to create a specific workflow for creating the copy content of a landing page of a product-led software or startup or whatever. And there's a guy that's really great at doing product-led landing pages. He's called Pedro Cortes. This is his site, cortes.design. If you haven't checked that out and you ever need a landing page, he is a super, super specialized and great guy at converting visitors to customers, using better messaging and positioning. Anyway, he has a template that I love. So I'm just going to use his template to a prompt to get me started with like a rough draft of landing page copy. So what I'm going to say here is, okay, so let's say product-led, actually that's going to be product-led and landing page. Okay, and I'm going to say you are a copywriting expert specialized in creating high converting landing page copy. All right, this is the template that you use. And then I'm just going to paste in this template, which I think I have in my clipboard. Yeah, great. So you can see here, design for X niche, get a result without problem, this portion of the copy, blah, 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 blah. And then it just goes through a standard sort of landing page template for product-led companies. So here at the end of the template, I'm going to do some characters to indicate that this is the end of the sort of that type of content. And I'm going to say await my instructions. All right, I'm going to save my new assistant. You can see we have it here. And if we put it here, we have that sort of the prompt. So now, let's say you wanted to create a landing page for a banana peeler powered by AI. Silly, but let's just roll with it. And here you can see it's following sort of the template. Get perfectly peeled bananas without the mess. With our AI-powered banana peel, you can enjoy perfectly peeled bananas every time. Say goodbye to the hassle and mess of manual peeling. A gift, blah, blah, ready to revolutionize your banana peeling. Join us in the future of kitchen convenience. Precision in mind, blah, blah, blah. You know, it just goes on and on, right? So this is just the first draft, but you get the point. Here you can see that I have a structure that I like, and now I can use this anytime I want. So all I had to write now was this, but the context before was the entire system message that is an assistant here, product-led landing page, that I can change at any point in time. If I want to change it, I can just go in here and change it right away. Or, you know, ask for something else here, of course. For fun later, maybe we will create this this landing page. But now I want to create something more interesting, I think, and that is a meta prompt. So I want to create a prompt that can create another prompt. So anytime I have sort of a assistant that I want to create or workflow I wanted to automate with an assistant, I want the help of my meta prompt, which will be a prompt generator. So here for my programming assistant prompt, I will use this as a inspiration because I like this word very much. So here you can see programming assistant, and this type of prompt, by the way, I found on Twitter. I've seen it from a few users, so I can't really pinpoint who created it. But yeah, anyway, if this is you, great stuff. So you are an AI programming assistant. You follow the user's requirements. You first think step by step. You describe your plan, then output the code, minimize pros, await my commands. So I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to add an assistant, and I'm going to call this one prompt generator. You are a prompt generator expert. You create prompts for, you create system prompts. Maybe you create, let's do prompts. You create prompts for GPT-4. You create detailed and specific. You create detailed and specific prompts for GPT-4. Here is an example of a prompt for a programming assistant. All right, and I'm gonna say prompt, and I'm gonna drop this in, and then I'm gonna say now await my instructions for creating new prompt. Okay, I'm gonna save. Let's do a new chat, and I'm gonna go with the prompt generator. So what should we create? Maybe maybe a content draft, SEO content draft, SEO content draft, or brief, content brief for SEO purposes. Okay, let's see. So you can already see that this type of meta prompting is very powerful. So you are an AI content assistant. Your task is to create a detailed SEO content brief, respond to the user requirements accurately and thoroughly, begin by outlining the main SEO elements to be included in the content, keywords, meta description, H1, H2 tags, URL structure, internal and external linking strategy, and so on and so forth. All right. Now I can, of course, just grab this. You see where I'm going with this. Add an assistant. An assistant, and I want to say content, SEO content brief. Right, I'm gonna add this whole thingy, and let's create a new chat here. And I'm going to choose content brief, and I'm going to say create a content brief for, for an article about AI and the future of sales. Let's see what we get. Title, main SEO elements, meta description, H1, H2 tags, general instructions, URL structure, then probably some target audience, tone, etc. What else do we have? Main content and topics. Call to action, potential sources, in general, right? Great, so here's a short content brief, and it's just to prove the point, right? Because with this prompt generator now, this is super powerful. So let's go and actually create a new chat again, and I'm gonna have the prompt generator. Let's see, what should we create? I mean, there's so many use cases here, of course, that you could have. Maybe we have a cart abandonment email. That's great. Okay, cart abandonment email generator. Let's see. I know nothing about cart abandonment emails more than general guidelines for creating compelling emails. So let's see here. Task is dinner engagement, blah blah blah. Include a clear compelling call to action. Guide them back. Okay, great. I would like to do this a little bit more specific. So let's add assistant. Let's say cart abandonment email generator. No, I don't need to do the generator. You are an email copywriting assistant specialized. Let's be clear, specialized in creating high converting cart abandonment emails. Okay, I bet my instructions for creating. Okay, great. Save. Just for clarity, let's do a new chat. I'm going to create an assistant, or choose cart abandonment email, and let's just say a banana peeler powered by AI, made for busy cooks. I mean, this is silly, but just an example. So now we have created 2 new assistants for specific workflows using, or 3 actually, but 2 extra ones using our prompt generator, which is a meta prompting structure. I'm using a prompt to create a new prompt. And you can read this example here. This isn't just an ordinary kitchen tool. It's powered by smart technology, yada, yada. You need to make this better. Of course, this is just first draft, but I'm proving points here, right? So the prompt generator, a very, very powerful way to create workflows. So you should think about this. You should think about what type of workflows and assistant could you get value from. And then you should get yourself your own AI assistant that you could build by yourself, right? And I definitely urge you to create your own version of this. So why would you need this instead of ChatGPT? Well, for me, there are a few reasons. One, this is built on GPT-4, but there's no rate limit. So it's not like you have 25 messages per 3 hours or something. It's unlimited, right? You have much more control on your prompting. It's much better UI, and really there's no limits on what to build. So if you know Bubble and use a system like this, there's no limits. And again, the point is to maximize your own leverage, right? So the probability that a pre-built system like ChatGPT is the best system for you to personally leverage your time right now is quite low. Now, of course, I can imagine a future where ChatGPT is actually going towards this vision. They want to build the ultimate tool for leverage to the individual, worker or person, in which case, if they add things like prompting libraries and all that, that's great. But until then, or even then if you want your control, but at least until then, for me, using the underlying API and your own assistants and workflows on top of that is the way to go, right? So how can you get this? How can you get your own version of this and just start going to town, right? So here's what to do if you're interested in this. You can buy the template because, of course, since this is built on Bubble, I made it templatized, meaning you could just grab this and have your entire own application with full control over the database structure, over the design, over all the prompts, over everything, right? And I think that is a much better choice than me turning this into some form of subscription product or software as a service, because that would defeat my point. I believe you need your own AI assistants and have all the control and all the data and all the context, because I think that is going to be the most valuable and impactful thing for an individual to do. So I'm also going to build this as my own, right? So I would urge you to get something like this. I mean, the template that I've built on Bubble is a great starting point, especially if you're not used to coding or if you like to build things without code. This is great, right? So you buy the template, link in the description. You can customize this to your own liking. You can add your prompt library and just start using it daily. So, I mean, spoiler alert, but I'm using this all the time. And the prompt generator here, please just steal this prompt generator prompt, because it's great. It's a super powerful starting point for any type of workflow you have. And I think that's it. That's it for this video. I'm just excited to share this with you. And it's a great and powerful tool when used correctly. And again, going back to, I think, the start here, the age of AI to me spells the age of leverage. And if you're looking for massive personal leverage, you need a system like this, right? And I think everyone should prompt their daily lives and think really carefully about how can I turn the thing that I'm doing here into a standard operating procedure, or how would I explain it to somebody else to follow instructions, and then use AI to set up a workflow for you so you can do that. And I wouldn't be surprised if you could 10x your output, or maybe even more, depending on what type of workflow and what type of output you're looking for, right? But anyway, don't sleep on this. Go deep down and double down on AI and all this stuff today, please. And also subscribe to this channel. Let me know if you like this type of content, what you're interested in. There's so many things I could possibly cover, and I'm excited by a lot of things personally, but I also want to know, what would you like to see, because I have, of course, limited time, and I'm also trying to maximize my output given a certain input, right? So thanks for today. Check out the link in the description if you're interested in grabbing this template and start building your own. And again, don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Bye.